So with the release of Nope, we now have 3 Jordan Peele movies out. How would I rank them? Let's find out. So we now have 3 movies from the relatively new horror director Jordan Peele, who burst onto the scene as a director in 2017 with the movie Get Out. Before that, he had mostly just been a comedic presence with stuff like Key and Peele. Now he is one of the biggest horror directors in the game right now, which is extremely impressive. And I am mixed positive on Peele as a filmmaker. I think his directing style is really unique and stylistic. I think that he goes for these big, crazy ideas with social commentary and metaphors mixed in there. I don't always think that his movies stick the landing, so I'll talk about that more once I get into my ranking. Without further ado, let's get into number 3, which is going to be Us. And to me, this movie is the biggest example of his ambitions exceeding his grasp. This movie does a lot of things right. I really dug the first half to 2/3 of this movie when it was a home invasion story and we weren't entirely sure what was going on, where these other versions of them came from. Phenomenal performances from Lupita Nyong'o and Winston Duke, and all the cast all the way around was great. The movie had a really good vibe and atmosphere to it, which is something that Peele is really good at. Great at building tension and making you feel on the edge of your seat during these scenes. It's got a great score, very well directed. Unfortunately, the movie really falls apart for me once they start to reveal what is exactly going on. It basically loses all credibility and nothing makes any sense anymore, because we find out that everyone in the world has this copy of them, which they call the Tethered, living in the sewer, mimicking their exact movements and what they say and everything, which is crazy to me because that makes literally no sense. How are they eating all the foods that our people are eating? So if they go to like a theme park, how are they going on those roller coasters? None of this adds up at all once they reveal what is exactly going on. And people will say, well, you just don't get the metaphor. No, I do. But for me, it also needs to make sense within the movie, and this one doesn't. It completely strained all credibility once it revealed what was actually going on. So that's why Us is easily my number 3 Jordan Peele movie. Number 2 is going to be the newcomer, Nope. This is a movie that I quite enjoyed. I think it does a lot of things right. I love Daniel Kaluuya in the lead. I love Keke Palmer, who plays his sister. I love their relationship, which is kind of the focal point of the movie, and one of the best parts of the movie, honestly, is their dynamic and their interactions, and they very much represent 2 sides of human characteristics and personalities. And Daniel Kaluuya plays a very stoic, quiet guy who doesn't show a ton of emotion, even in the craziest situations. Keke Palmer plays the more charismatic, energetic character who is reacting very outwardly to everything that's going on. So I love that dichotomy there. A couple side characters were really good. The character actions were some of the best parts of the movie. Also, I'm kind of sensing a theme here. The first half of the movie is absolutely phenomenal. I was starting to think that this could be my second or third favorite of the movie of the year at that point, because Peele is so good at building tension. And I think this movie is much better when you don't exactly know what's going on. And we're kind of trying to figure it out with the characters, and it makes for some extremely intense scenes. The movie has great atmosphere for the first half, and phenomenal directing, probably the coolest visuals of Peele's movies. And they do some really cool stuff with the sound. Like, I will never hear Sunglasses at Night the same again. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. Great at building the tension. The actual payoff, though, I think could have been better. I think it didn't necessarily stick the landing. The third act was a bit underwhelming for me. It didn't have the horror vibe of the rest of the movie. It was still entertaining, but I really wish it would have kept that intense, thrilling feel throughout the entire runtime, and it really lost that in the third act and just kind of became almost a adventure comedy, which was a strange shift. That, again, it was fun, but I really wish they had kept the horror vibe and atmosphere that they had throughout the rest of the movie. And on top of that, Peele, I think he tends to go a little bit too far sometimes with the metaphors. I wish he would have just stuck with the main plot line, which is fairly straightforward, but he adds this side plot involving the monkey, which if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about, that felt really out of place in the movie. It was well done and it was creepy, and I understood what he was going for, But within this movie, it felt like it really padded the runtime and distracted from the main plot line because it didn't play into the main plot whatsoever. So that was a strange addition to me. But aside from those couple complaints, I had a really good time with this movie, and I thought he delivered with this one for the most part. But number one is easily going to be Get Out. His first movie is still definitely his best. I think this is the one where he best executes on what he was going for, where he best sticks the landing. The social commentary is told very well through story, but it's also accessible. It's not too metaphorical or too confusing. This is one of the first big roles for Daniel Kaluuya, and he is absolutely phenomenal in this movie. His girlfriend and all of her family members were great, and I love the commentary on white liberals' obsession with black people and how they basically in this movie wanted to like transfer their consciousness into their bodies. So that was a great twist, and it didn't take it too far. There's still a few things that don't quite add up to me, and I think he might have gone a little bit too metaphorical with a few things, but I thought the Get Out was great. It is very, very thrilling. Again, building the tension, something that Peele is very good at. It's got a great lead character and lead performance, a phenomenal score. So much he did right with this movie, and Get Out is easily my number one of his movies. So there you have it, guys. There is my ranking of the 3 Jordan Peele movies that have been released so far. How would you rank the 3 movies? Drop a comment below, and if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. Likes help immensely for getting my videos out to more people, so please do that if you enjoyed it. If you enjoy my content in general, subscribe, hit the notification bell, get notified when I post a video. I got some more cool rankings and stuff coming, so stay tuned. See you soon.